Live stream of Chicago Bulls Central. Listen, we got good news to bring. Zach Lavine has officially re-signed with the Chicago Bulls, signing a max level contract for $215.2 million. We're going to talk about all that and more, but you know what we got to do? We got to get into our intro before anything. Let's go ahead and do that.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, so we're back. Listen, I want to hear from you guys on this one. I had a pre-recorded video going up about this, but hey, I figured why not go live? I got to do live on Locked On Bulls. Might as well also go live on my own platform. The Chicago Bulls have officially re-signed Zach Lavine on a max level contract. Now, there were a lot of Bulls fans who were doubtful if the Bulls were going to give Zach Lavine a max level deal or if he was even worth one. Well, all those questions now go by the wayside. Zach Lavine is officially the highest paid player in Chicago Bulls history. This is in the history books. The Bulls have never given somebody over $100 million contract. They now have a $200 million player in Zach Lavine. And I love the fact that his wife tweeted a picture afterwards of him just sitting in the chair, smoking a cigar, because it's well-deserved. And shout out to Zach Lavine for being able to come in, get this deal done. And the Bulls, the Bulls taking care of business also. And it is what it is. I know that not everybody's going to agree with this deal. I know they're going to absolutely be some fans who are disappointed by it, thinks that Lavine isn't worth it. All that's coming, right? We already know all that's coming. But at the end of the day, Zach Lavine, he got what he was worth. And it's not always about what the fans think is going to be worth it. None of that. It's about what can you negotiate. And guess what? Zach Lavine got the deal done. So now Zach Lavine has the max. We got that in. We know that Andre Drummond is also coming in. The things that we don't know so far. Who else are they going to add? It seems like Danilo Gallinari is now going to be going to Boston. He will not be coming to the Chicago Bulls, which is fine, right? That's very much fine. But the Bulls did need to add shooting. Now, there's a couple of different things out there the Bulls could do for shooting. The Bulls, health could change a lot with the Chicago Bulls. Health and progression are going to be things that change a lot for the Chicago Bulls this season, right? If Lonzo Ball's fully healthy, if Io takes a leap, Patrick Williams takes a leap, God forbid, even like a Justin Lewis, a Dalen Terry are really able to come in and be maybe better shooters than we expect them to be right away. Maybe the Bulls do feel that they've added that shooting and can, and can wait. I don't really know what other shooters are out there right now on the market for the Chicago Bulls. I do trust that they're going to find it. And we still got Kobe White on the roster as well. Keep in mind, I know a lot of people are down on Kobe White, but keep in mind, Kobe White, half of the season, averaged 16 points on over 40% shooting from the field and 40% from three-point range. Kobe White, the Bulls could very well look at it and say, hey, we're not going to move Kobe White for a deal that's less than what we think that he's worth or less than his value because he can still bring a lot of value to this team. And they may just wait and let it play out in restricted free agency and see how things go. So that's what it boils down to. And it kind of is what it is. Championship teams are not birthed overnight. Now, again, you can help your chances by doing better in free agency. And while I do understand, and I'm one of the fans as well, I think the Bulls could have done a lot in free agency. But let me get some explanations right now for Bulls fans. If the Bulls did use the full mid-level exception, now I had to educate myself on this. Had the Bulls used the full mid-level exception, let's say they did sign Mo Bamba to that 2-year, $21 million deal. They would have hard capped themselves, which means it's not only the luxury tax, but that means if a deal presented itself in the middle of the season, the Bulls, and it increased the Bulls' salary, they couldn't have worked that deal. That's one of the issues that's facing even Kevin Durant wanting to go to Phoenix right now, is that they would be hard capped in that case. And they would not be able, they would have to send both Booker and Ayton for Kevin Durant when one of the contracts could technically work out there. So you got to think maybe that's what's here. Now, I'm not trying to give them excuses about what may happen, because if it doesn't come to fruition, then I shot them some bail for no reason. But that's absolutely a thing that could happen here and that we could be looking at as to why, not just the luxury tax, but why they may be avoiding using that full mid-level exception right now, because maybe AK has a deal that he thinks may present itself at midseason, maybe before then, that could significantly increase the Bulls. For example, for anybody who wants the Bulls for trade for Rudy Gobert, had the Bulls signed Mo Bamba at that full mid-level exception, they could not have traded for Rudy Gobert. It just wasn't going to happen. They would have been hard capped. They could not have increased their salary without giving up basically half the team. So keep that, man. I'm just saying that, keep that in consideration when we're judging everything, that maybe the full picture of this offseason is not going to be painted in day 1 or day 2 of free agency. The full picture of what the Bulls do to improve this team may not even be painted until the trade deadline midway through the season. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the comments and see what some of you guys are doing, man. Let's see what we got. Michael in the building. Michael says, glad we gave Zach a max. Let's run it back. If we're healthy, we're going to be a problem regardless, right? How big of a problem maintains to be seen. Shay in the building says, damn, you're making me do a whole bunch of work. I'm switching from you and the Windy City Breeze at the same time. It's all love. I love both of y'all. I'm so happy for you guys. And you're going to have to watch us do Locked on Bulls here in a second as well. Live Wild Sports says, Haize, let's get it. You already know what it is. My little brother from another mother, Smear 60s in the building. He says, bro, my friends told me Zach was leaving. I just told them they were wrong, and they respond, Bulls aren't winning a championship. That's called moving the goalpost, brother. And when people do that in conversations, you just let them have it, because they're going to continue moving the goalposts. Those are people who don't actually want to have a discussion. They just want to be right. You got to ignore them in that case. Hey, Haize, now that Drummond and Zach are signed, who do you think the Bulls should sign in free agency trade for? Still think a backup 3 and D player who shoots over 40% will make up for Drummond. Well, we may not see that, right? Because we have, as long as Kobe White's on this roster, the Bulls may say, hey, we may have shooting cover. Now, he's not consistent, right? If he can be consistent like he was half of the season, then you may have that. But I'm not really sure on what other shooting options right now are out there. But hey, we'll see. Gallinari is no longer optional. It seems like Gallinari is now committed to signing with Boston. So Joshua Simmons says, yo, your thumbnails are fire. Listen, I do this. No, but keep in mind, I'm a photographer by trade, so I'm very familiar with Photoshop, Lightroom, things like that. So I can create some great thumbnails. I didn't do it to start it up. I'm not gonna lie. When I first started this page, my thumbnails looking back were absolute trash. But that's because I didn't expect this channel to grow. Like, I really was just podcasting and doing this channel out of just the love for the team, which I still am, right? That's still it. But now I add a little bit more professionalism to it. So there you go. I appreciate that, though. 5 likes. We got to do better. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Shay in the building says, damn, you're smart. How come you don't have a job in the NBA? I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. So one of the things, and I always say that this is my superpower. My superpower isn't being on the mic. My superpower isn't that I have this amazing on-camera personality, because I don't feel I do. I feel like Pat is a way better personality on the camera. People like the Bull Show, great fucking content creator. I'm awkward as shit on the camera. But what I will say is that my superpower is that I can learn anything. I can learn anything, right? Being a photographer, being a videographer, I'm all self-taught with all that. But when I decided to do Chicago Bulls Central, it was I tweeted one thing incorrectly and was corrected. And that was on Io's potential of what he could re-sign for. And somebody corrected me. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to read the CBA. I spent the next 2 weeks reading the entire NBA CBA. Now, I'm not a capologist by any means, but I read the actual CBA. So, and I'm one of those people where if I read, I'm like, I don't know what's the eidotic mind or whatever. Like, if I read something, I'm going to remember it forever. So that's what has helped me in this. I've actually read the CBA. Smokey Sinatra says, get them likes up. Haize been working his ass off. Listen, I have released, and this isn't a flex at all. So please, in the 5 days of this week, Monday through Friday, and Friday isn't even over yet, I have released, I think, 14 videos, and I have over 150,000 views on the channel. That's work, bro. I've been putting in work. Hey, Haize, do you think we can get Bam in a 3-team trade with Miami and BK, with KD going to Miami? Possibly. Anything's possible. I don't think it's likely, but anything is possible. I think that if KD does go to Miami, they're going to want all those assets back. Crazy Boy Play says, who would you rather take, Otto Porter or Gary? They're both signed. So it doesn't even matter. Otto Porter signed to Toronto today. So yeah, and Gary Harris signed yesterday. I can't remember what team Gary Harris signed to. Was it the Magic? Did he re-sign with the Magic? But they're both off the board. So, all right. So this is where you got to educate people. Zach Lavine averaged 24.4 points per game after being hurt for over half the season. Before that, Zach Lavine was averaging 28 points per game on high efficiency, and he's still a 50-40-90 player, which is the elite mark. in the NBA as far as percentages that you want to shoot at as a scorer. He also was 12th in the NBA in total scoring with that 24.4 points, being injured half the season, and he wasn't the second option. This is where you guys got to correct yourself. This is how I know people don't watch basketball. Zach Lavine averaged 1.3 shots less than DeMar DeRozan and only zero point 0.3 less shots than DeMar DeRozan in crunch time. Now, DeMar did get more points off those shots, but no, Zach Lavine was not the second option. They were co-number one options, and Zach Lavine in a healthy year easily gets you 28 points per game and is top 10 in the league in scoring. Yes, we still need help, as every player does need help. Zach isn't a generational talent to where him alone is going to transform a team, but dumb comments like that doesn't fly here at Chicago Bulls Central, where we actually know the shit that we talk about. Try again, brother. Try again. It's crazy how Haize been putting in work on Chicago Bulls, Bears, and Sky Central. Oh, and Locked On Bulls. Listen, there are days where I have to do all four shows. There are a lot of days. There are days where I do all three, because keep in mind, Locked On Bulls, Chicago Bulls Central, and Chicago Bears Central are all daily. And then Chicago Sky Central, I try to do 2 times a week, but I also try to air every time after they have a game. So yeah, there's absolutely times where I'm doing a bunch of shows in a day. But this is all, it's all passion, it's all love. That's why I do this for. I never get burnt out doing it. Never. Would you try to bring in Michael Green to this team, because OKC has a lot of power forwards and we can definitely use them right now? No, we don't need any more forwards. We don't need any. Now that Drummond's here, Drummond's going to get about 20, 22 minutes a game. Patrick Williams is here. Nikola Vucevic is here. We'll see what happens with Marko Simonovic, Justin Lewis. But I really do think that front court rotation is pretty much solidified. Now, do you need another back end of the bench big? Possibly. Or we still got Tony Bradley here, unfortunately, but he still is here. So I don't think that they go big. I think that they go maybe a person who can play 3-4, but maybe primarily is on that wing. There's a lot of different ways they can go with it. Where do you think we get our 3-point help from? We get our 3-point help from people. Keep in mind, we only had Lonzo Ball for 35 games. That's less than half the season. He was our best 3-point shooter. Ayo Dosunmu was a better shooter in college. We hadn't seen that unleashed in his game this season because of confidence. There were times where he absolutely passed up shots, open shots at that. Ayo Dosunmu coming in more healthy. We had Patrick Williams for 15 games this season, and in those 15 games, he showed a bigger propensity to take that corner three. So those players alone with health and progression get you a lot more threes. Zach Lavine is a hell of a 3-point shooter as well. We'll see what happens with like a Justin Lewis if he does end up making the actual team as a 3-point shooter, for sure. Marko Simonovic can hit the three if he ends up being on this roster. Jalen Terry, while didn't take in a lot of threes, shot the three at a decent percentage as well. So I'm not saying that it's for certain that, and Kobe White, we still got Kobe White. That's a lot of people who can potentially shoot 35% or better from the 3-point range. So yeah, I like health is going to do a lot for the Chicago Bulls. A lot for the Chicago Bulls. So just keep that in mind. Tim Brazil says, I didn't get the notification. Listen, a lot of people don't get the notifications, man. A lot of people don't. I don't know. YouTube sucks with that. Haize, you think we can make it past the Buck? Woo! I'm not willing to say that yet. I want to see how this team comes together. Does Draymond help that a lot? Drummond. I mixed 2 players' names. Does Drummond help that a lot? Absolutely. Patrick Williams has to take another leap as well. But again, for people who thinking, oh, well, you have to stop Giannis to get past the Bucks. No, you don't. That's not how it works. You have to stop almost everything else around him, though, yes, and play really good and shoot the ball very well. But it remains to be seen. Like the Bucks, while they looked great against us, they didn't look worldly against us, and definitely didn't in the second round. So yeah, I think there's a possibility we can get, but it's going to take progression. It's going to take people being more healthy. It's going to take a lot of things, but it is possible. But we got to see how this version of this team comes along. Does Dalen Terry come in and ready to contribute day one? Does Justin Lewis come in and be that player that it looks like he can be coming off the bench? There's a lot of questions with things like that. I thought, listen, my brain saw Miles Bridges and I literally was about to see red. Like, literally, so thank God that he gave me the pause, because I thought I saw Miles Bridges, and yeah, thank God. There's a chance that the Suns, Bulls, and Nets are working out the 3-team trade where Mikal Bridges ends up with the Bulls. I don't know what would they give up in that case. What is Mikal Bridges' contract? Because keep in mind, the Bulls are trying to avoid hard capping themselves. So for that to be I think so. No, that's not gonna. I can tell you right now, that's not gonna happen. Mikal Bridges makes $22 million a year. There's no way that he ends up on the Chicago Bulls. I can tell you that right now. The money just doesn't work. The Bulls aren't gonna. So the players that the Bulls would have to give up in a trade to make that money work would be Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball, Nikola Vucevic, or because Kobe doesn't get you there. Yeah, that's it. Those are the three players, and even a combination of like a Kobe, Patrick, that would be stupid. So no, I'm telling you right now, Mikal Bridges is not going to be a Chicago Bull. I can tell you that right now. Take that to the bank. The money just doesn't work out. Hey there, talking on ESPN, the Durant trade will possibly include 3 or 4 teams. Maybe the Bulls get a player or two in that blockbuster trade, like Mikal. Well, I just addressed that with the Mikal Bridges. Keep in mind, the Bulls don't have true cap space, right? They only had exceptions. They have a $5 million trade player exception, which where they can absorb a player for $5 million, up to $5 million, and not have to send anything out as far as financially. They'd have to send out like a draft pick or something. But with that being said, that $22 million, that's out of the, like, the Bulls aren't going, not for Mikal Bridges. They're not going to give up a Vooch, Caruso, or Alonzo Ball for Mikal Bridges. It's not happening. I can guarantee that. You can take that to the bank. Is TJ Warren the next move? Or are you surprised Kevin Looney is still on the board, considering how good of a switcher he is? Well, I am surprised Looney's still on the board. As far as TJ Warren, you guys know I'm not high on TJ Warren. He's been out of basketball for 2 years, right? And then people are going to say Klay Thompson. Okay, fine. But Klay Thompson was a way better player, had further. There's not been very many players who, after being out of basketball for injury for 2 years, have come back in year one and been anything. Now, something could be said if he does want to take the minimum, but I'm not giving TJ Warren more than $2.5 million per year, because it's just too many unknowns there. Too many unknowns there. Andrew says, I hate Drummond signing, trade Kobe for rim protection. Listen, just because you hate it, we have to be able to review things objectively, right? I don't like the deal. I think there are way better deals out there. But looking at, if last year somebody would have told you that we would get a big man, right? A 6'10, 275-pound center who can average 1 block per game and a double-double off the bench, all of us would have taken that. Everybody would have taken that. He's better than Tristan Thompson. He's better than Tony Bradley. He's better than those two combined. What Drummond has shown he can do in limited minutes is exactly what we need from a backup big. Now, I can understand he doesn't give a shit offensively. What does it do for spacing when he's out there on the floor with DeMar DeRozan? Those are all legitimate things. But considering the restrictions that the Bulls placed on themselves, right? On themselves, they did pretty damn good getting Andre Drummond. They could have done better. But objectively looking at it, he brings everything that we would have wanted, considering in the midseason last season when we signed Tristan Thompson. And we got to see what he can bring. 28 years old, too. Keep that in mind. Crazy Boys plays, if we don't draft a center in 2023, we'll go ahead and scream now. Get it out the way. Keep in mind, Bulls don't have their own first-round pick. They don't have their own second-round pick next season. We're going to have Portland's pick, which Portland's pick, considering how they're improving that team, is probably going to be, I say, between 20 and 25. Just be on the lookout for that. Bulls should look at signing Thomas Bryant or Jalen Smith as the backup 4 next to Drummond. Bulls can rebound, block, and hit threes. Yes, I love Jalen Smith. He was on my list of players that when I did the video that was big men I would like to see the Bulls target. He was number 3 on that list. I would love Jalen Smith. And considering the longer it goes in free agency, the more likely you're able to get him at a cheaper deal, right? Now, a shorter term deal, but the more likely you're able to get him at. I love the idea of Jalen Smith on this team. Love it. Imperfect Kingdom is in the building. Says, yo, excited for the season with the healthy Zoe playoff run is due. Absolutely. Imperfect Kingdom, what you got working on them Bears tees, bro? What you got working on the Bulls for next season? We need that, fam. We need that. Fair point, Haize. Drummond made Bam look like a high school b-ball player on the court. I'm telling you, listen, Drummond has a lot. Drummond has a lot left in the tank. Andrew, so I just explained this, right? I just explained this, and I will do it again because you may not have been here. So if the Bulls had used the full mid-level exception right now at this point in free agency, it would have hard capped them. We're not even talking about luxury tax, right? That's going to be, the Bulls are going to play the luxury tax either way. That would have hard capped them, which means that if A Rudy Gobert deal. If any type of deal for a player that increases the Bulls' salary, they couldn't do it. That's one of the things hurting Phoenix from trading for Kevin Durant. They are hard capped. So they maintain cap flexibility for a possible late free agency trade or a mid-season trade by not going into the luxury tax. Now, granted, that is me admittedly looking at the positive side of that. But here's the thing that I want to ask you. Do you feel like Mo Bamba is worth giving up a chance at a mid-season big-time deal to hard cap yourself now? Again, I would have signed Mo Bamba, right? So I'm agreeing with you. But I can objectively look at this and say, hey, the Bulls maintain a lot, not just luxury tax flexibility, they maintain trade. How restricted the Bulls would have been in the trade market being hard capped is ridiculous. So because of that, I can understand. I don't agree, but I understand. I think sometimes as fans that we lose out on the understanding part because we don't agree with what teams do. Agreements and understanding are two vastly different things. We need to, as fans, to be able to objectively look and understand why teams are doing things and still say, hey, I understand what you're trying to do, but I don't fucking agree with that. And that's where I sit. I don't agree with it at all. My thing is you take the best deal available now, and anything that happens later, if you can't, then fuck it. You made your move. But I can understand the mindset that goes into it. I can understand the mindset that goes into it. All right, let's see what else we got. Will Billy focus more on attacking the rim with AD when he's on the floor? With AD, who's AD? Because AD ain't on this team. You talking about? Oh, Drummond. Duh, we got an AD now. On attacking the rim more with AD when he's on the floor. I don't think Drummond is going to be a rim attacker. I think like you use Drummond kind of like they did Derrick Jones Jr. when he was the backup center and effective. You're going to use him heavily in pick and rolls to either create space for Lonzo to shoot or for Lonzo to go up top, give him some lobs, things like that. They're going to give Drummond a few shots a game. Drummond's going to get 4 plays called for him a game, right? Design post plays for him a game. Now, those plays may not be for him to try to score. It may be to open something up in the perimeter, but he's going to get plays called for him for sure. For sure. Billy Donovan has to do big work on the offensive scheme of this team if everybody's healthy for sure. Imperfect Kingdom says, got you, film. Just move the company back to the shot. That's what we need, more of that in the shot. Definitely we need more of that in the shot. Like the drip. You like that? I appreciate that. I appreciate that, bro. I try. I got so much Bulls gear, it's ridiculous. Why didn't the Bulls go after Greg Monroe instead? He's a better free throw shooter and some can create. We don't need keep in mind, we don't need scoring from the backup center. We don't need that. Everybody who's like suggesting Cousins and now Greg Monroe, we needed a player who is just a dog. Greg Monroe is not that. Greg Monroe has never been the best defender. Andre Drummond is a way better defender than Greg Monroe is a scorer at this point in their careers. And that's what we needed. Steve-O Speaks is in the building. What's going on, my guy? Atlanta just traded Herter. Who do they trade him to? Let's see. Let's go see. Let me bring up my little tracker here for free agency. By the way, this again isn't a flex. It's going to come off like one. When you can write code, you can create almost anything. And I'm going to leave it at that. Like, why do y'all think that I get my videos out so fast? I got some code for a lot of shit that I wrote myself that just makes shit fucking easy, man. That just makes shit easy. NBA. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I don't have my glasses. Looking at the screen is killing me. I don't know. I don't see it. Somebody tell me what the Herder deal is. I don't see it. I'm not going to be on this live trying to talk to my people. But yeah. The Live Mob in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Live Mob is in the building. Come on, fam. Come on. Listen, you can't tell me I ain't make it. You can't tell me I ain't make it. Like, this is crazy. Ooh, this is a really good one. Really good one. Yo, what is your take on Jonathan Isaac? Do you think it's worth trading for him? Man, um, man. What's Jonathan Isaac's contract, right? Because that's how I can come up with a trade for. Let's see. Let's see what we got. 17.5 million a season. I don't know if the Bulls can get there, man. Kobe's 7.5. You throw in the trade player exception with 5 million. The Bulls can possibly get it. Would probably take Javonte Green, though. It would take Javonte Green. At that point, yes, it's worth it. Yes, it's worth it. If he's healthy. If he's healthy. Loud Mom says, I think we missed out on Mo Bamba. I agree. I kind of just went into this twice, so I'm not going to go into it again. But while I don't agree, I understand why they didn't sign Mo Bamba, why they didn't hard cap themselves. But I don't agree. I really would love for them to see that. You and Pat are giving me kid and play vibes. Absolutely, bro. Like me and Pat, it's so funny because people forget that when me and Pat took over Locked on Bulls, we hadn't done a single episode together. I had been on one of his live calls, but that's not really doing an episode, right? Because he's live calling the game. I'm just reacting to stuff. It's not like what Locked on Bulls is. Our chemistry is getting to the point now, like people don't know this. So, for example, I'll say this. So after what episode was that? That we went live. We went live for something recently. And we did the whole show live, not just a random live. We did the whole show live. We did not talk about a single topic we were going to discuss before we started recording. We literally got on Restream and pushed go live. And we were able to come up with 3 distinct topics, 3 segments, talk about those in 10 minutes each, do our live reads for the network, all without we didn't have a pregame meeting at all. We literally just turned on the cameras and hit go. That's the sign of great chemistry to me. And that's been one of our most downloaded episodes, period. Let me go and look to see what episode that was. So yeah, me and Pat's chemistry is getting to the point to where it's natural now, right? Like I think before we were like, because we never worked with each other before, we were worried about stepping on each other's toes. We don't have to do that anymore. We literally can just press live. Oh, it was the Kevin Durant after Kevin Durant signed. So can the Bulls make a play for Kevin Durant? Which that video got about 4,000 views. We didn't talk about that episode at all before we started recording it. So yeah. No, oh no, I wasn't giving up on the coding thing. I didn't give up on the coding. I gave up on searching something on a website, bro. Not the coding thing. The coding thing is locked in. Like so much of what I do is fucking automated. It's ridiculous. Like literally all I come down here for posting. So side note here. So you guys know I do Chicago Bull Central is a podcast and YouTube. And I don't edit the audio separately. Literally what I do is I have this thing set up to where I edit the video, I'll upload the video, and then it automatically pulls the audio from that video, uploads it to iTunes, Spotify, and everything. It's dope. Dope. Well, Gio, technically they cannot sign the deals until July 6th. So every that's for every deal that you see. Every single deal that you see at this point in free agency are verbal agreements. They can't physically sign the contracts until July 6th. So no, he hasn't officially put pen to paper, but he's reached an agreement. This is a good trade. Justin Holiday, Mo Harkness, a future first-round pick for Herter. That's not a bad trade at all. They get some defense that they need with Justin Holiday now that they're going to trade. Look, Trae Young is terrible defensively. Terrible defensively. Keep an eye on Pat. Don't worry. If you guys have seen it, Pat checks me sometimes too. But we definitely check each other on shit. I have to That's why when y'all see me typing when Pat's going on his rants, it's because I'm like, wait a second, is that right? And I'd be like, actually it's 2.5 million. Like, but that's part of a team, right? We balance each other out. Said, yeah, the first episode or so, Pat was nervous. You think it was nerves? I think it was, I honestly think he was just afraid to step on my toes, right? Keep in mind, and this again, not a flex, not a shot, because I literally the day that I got hired for Locked On Bulls, I called Pat and told him I wanted to be my co-host. But I think keep in mind, Locked On Network hired me. And then I chose Pat to be my co-host. So I think Pat maybe initially didn't want to step on my toes because maybe it was something mentally, but this both of our show. Like, fuck all that. Like, this is our show. So Haize, are you okay with missing out on Gallo? Absolutely. 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 Listen, Gallo would have been a nice signing, but yeah, it's different. Absolutely. Listen, this is 100% fact. Pat keeps Locked On Bulls from getting no, he keeps me from getting fired, right? Because they're not canceling Locked On Bulls. They would just fire my black ass. Almost said nigga live on air on the Locked On Network last episode. Literally, literally. I had a sound clip that said "What's up, nigga," and I almost did that, and then I almost said it on top of that. I would have definitely got fired. I would have got a call. I would have been sitting, minding my own business, probably recording a video. I would have got a call. Hey, what's up? You're wishing me my best on my future endeavors? That would have been what happened. Pat saved me from that. Pat definitely saved me from that. Locked On is getting big. Yeah. Locked On, since we've taken over the channel, I think has gained about 1,500 subscribers, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is big considering the fact that when we took over the show, the Bulls started losing, right? And it's been all downhill since then. But yeah, we've gained because I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, it was maybe a little over 4,000 when we took it over, and now we're at 5,700 almost. One subscriber away from 5,700. So yeah. Haize, does Kobe for Seth deal work? I don't think financially. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, it absolutely would work. He makes a little bit more than Kobe, but you don't have to max exactly. You get a little leeway there. I think it's like 2%, something like that. So his annual salary is $8 million. Kobe's annual is 7.5. So yeah, the contracts would work technically. So not the Vince McMahon line. If you guys don't realize how much WWE and wrestling talk sneaks into my basketball talk, I call when people are in the chat trying to get attention, I said they're trying to get over. I always talk about people having the Vincent McMahon mindset when they talk about size in the NBA. When he's 6'9", he's not a power forward. Stop acting like Vince McMahon. The stupid idiot. Like I started when I started the show, I used to give the stupid idiot of the week award. That's a Chris Jericho thing. There's a lot of my initial start in podcasting was through a wrestling podcast. I'm a huge wrestling. Well, not as I don't watch as much anymore, but there's a lot of wrestling terminology that sneaks its way in. Locked On Network don't want Locked On Bulls. Don't be authentically Chicago. Not allowed to be. Not allowed to be Southside Chicago on there. Not allowed to be. Jamal says, shout out to, oh man, that's one of the, that's, I think, you know what? I think that's what broke the ice. I think me and Pat both going at Joe Cowley on Twitter was like when we both were like, we both petty as a motherfucker, right? So, yeah. It says, I peep the WWE lingo too, man, all the time, bro. Like it sneaks, and this is in life, bro. I be in business meetings at my actual job. I'm a project manager for a tech company. Big flex, by the way. Black man in tech, shout out. But I'm in meetings sometimes, like, and I sneak in wrestling lingo, right? I asked one time we were in because my boss is silly, and I was like, "Is this a work or is this a shoot?" He was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Never mind. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it." He got way more chemistry with his P kid and them. Y'all should hang out more, maybe, but still great start so far. Well, yeah, those are actual friends in life. Like, yeah, that chemistry is never gonna. That's just like me and Ricky Fontaine. Me and Ricky Fontaine are actually friends, like in real life. Like, I talk to the motherfucker on the phone probably about 3 or 4 times a week. So yeah, me and Ricky, and when me and Ricky start our Chicago Bull Central Weekly, which, will be a Patreon episode, that chemistry is going to be out of control. But yeah. Let's see. Jack is true says that's what I do. Oh my God. It's funny, man. It's funny. Everything. Life is a work, bro. Life is a work. Everything's a work. And don't give me none of that. It's a work shoot shit. No, it's a work or it's a shoot. Yeah, life is a work, bro. Life is a work. Brandon L. Jet says, hey, I'm a network engineer. Tech is life. That's why do you guys think I'm able, to have this high-tech ass studio with 3 different sets, right? That's all fucking wireless. Like, watch this. Alexa, turn on studio lights. Okay. You see it? You can't really see it much. The Boys is back for season 3. Alexa, turn off studio lights. Okay. All right. Get back my sexy light, and I got to get my shadow on my face. But that's why I'm able to do the show random times during the day, because I'm working tech and I'm a project manager. There are times where I can literally walk away. I can automate something, literally walk away from it, and come down here and do a 30-minute live stream. And I'm on the clock at work right now, right? Technically, I'm on the clock. They ain't missing me though. Ricky Fontaine, pretty Ricky, what they calling him? No, that dread-headed bitch. I mean, don't nobody call that motherfucker pretty Ricky. Ugly Ricky is more like it. That motherfucker. No, I'm just playing. Oh man, if y'all heard how me and Ricky answer the phone, like literally, I talked to Ricky Fontaine today, and he called me, and I think the first thing I said is, "You black bitch." Like that's just like no highs at all. Shay's in the building. What's going on? Thanks for joining. I don't know about young. I'm old. I look young, right? Yeah. If y'all saw the picture I posted of my mom on my Twitter, you'll see my mom is in her 60s and looks about the same age as me. I'm not young at all. Like at all. Not at all. I'm in my mid 30s. He said, well, damn, brother, you ain't got to do him like, oh, no, I got to do Ricky like that. Matter of fact, there was one time Ricky called me and I answered the phone. I was like, what's going on, black man? Like just a regular greeting. And he was like, wait a second. I almost hung up. I thought I had the wrong number because I throw an insult at him. The first thing I say is an insult every time Ricky calls. And I get creative with it. It's not always the same thing. It'd be you black bitch, you dumb bastard. It'd be dumb shit like that. So there he goes. Look at this bitch ass motherfucker right here. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. We coming for you, nigga. But yeah. I thought you were gonna say 50. Oh no, I'm not 50. Come on, man. Listen, I probably will look like this. If y'all saw my mom, I'm probably gonna look the exact same when I'm 50. Are you in? We'll see if we can get that working. It'll be hard to work out schedule wise, but Big Dave and Matt are gonna be definitely on Chicago Bulls Central again. Definitely going to be on Chicago Bulls Central again. Oh, I'm watching. He gonna get his. Oh man. Haize, you thought Chicago Bulls Central wouldn't pass 7K subs until the regular season, but look at it now, bro. It's crazy, man. Crazy. And then I passed 7,000 subscribers 2 days ago, and I'm almost at 7,200 subscribers now. So we almost got another 200 subscribers in 2 days. The way that this channel is growing is bananas, fam. Bananas. Somebody asked me the other day, would I ever consider doing this full time? And I used to not see the path to that, admittedly, but I'm starting to see it. Like, just all jokes aside, I'm really starting to see the path to that being the thing. But we'll see. We'll see. Between Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central, I don't expect Chicago Sky Central to ever grow at the heights that the other two are, but I can definitely see a world in which that may happen. Haize, I think Billy Donovan needs to work on his adjustments and coach pick and roll defense better. Thoughts? Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. I bet if you shaved your beard off, you would look like a spring chicken. That's probably facts. That's probably facts. That's probably facts. Fix your audio levels. Listen, no, that's restream. That's actually restream. That's why on pre-recorded videos, my audio levels are always great. I don't change a thing. It's just restream. I don't know why restreams. I think they have something like it's auto. Turn that off. Auto gain control. That's probably what I need to turn off. Yeah, it peaks on restream for some reason, especially when I get to going off. Crime, crime dog McGruff looking motherfucker. Ain't that some shit, bro? Ain't that some shit? We not gonna tell people that you look like Holiday Hart in real life, though. We're not gonna tell people that. I'll be Dog McGruff. That's fine. He's still famous. He's still paid. I'll get that money. You definitely look like Holiday Hart out here in this motherfucker. Haize, listen, if you so all right, this is going to literally, once I say this, is gonna all make sense. So if you look at how Petty Roosevelt goes off, I absolutely am like Macho Man was my favorite wrestler. So I'm a mix when I do my pro, and keep in mind, I used to do promo battles when I used to do the wrestling channel. Petty Roosevelt, the way that he cuts promos is literally a mix of Macho Man Randy Savage and Roddy Piper. Go back and so now go back and look. Go back and look at the Macho Man promo. Go look in the Roddy Piper promo, and then look at me when I'm being Petty Roosevelt going off, and you'll see exactly where I pulled that stuff from. Exactly where I pulled that stuff from. So I'm just saying. So yeah, it's very much a lot of stuff comes from wrestling for me. A lot of stuff comes from wrestling. Jihad said the crime dog was a little accurate. It was a little accurate. I gotta admit that. Gotta admit that. Steve O Speak says I can see hella Roddy. Yes, listen, Roddy Piper. Listen, Roddy Piper. Because keep in mind, I grew up I have 6 sisters, right? I used to practice cutting promos on these motherfuckers in my room. I couldn't go off on them in real life because they would have beat my ass, right? My sisters are fucking G's. Well, my older two. But like cutting promos was my thing, like legit. Absolutely. Come on now. Did I watch ECW? Absolutely, man. Now I lived overseas. We didn't get ECW, so I used to have to wait to get tapes of ECW growing up. Big Evil Taker. Oh, that's taking it back. That's definitely taking it back. All right, y'all. Got to shut this down. I appreciate you guys so much for turning in. Didn't expect to have this big of a turnout on this live. I appreciate it. Make sure you follow. Oh, let me do it officially. Hold on. Make sure you follow the show at Bull Central Pod on every social media platform. You can also send us any email, feedback, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and a voicemail or mailback episode, it's tomorrow. The number to do so is 773-270-2799. I'm going to end it on this comment because where'd she go? I don't even know where she went. Where'd she go? Cause Shay talking about my dimples. Listen, this is carefully folded fat. That's not an actual dimple. If I lose weight, it's not going to be there at all. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. But that is it for me for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll probably be dropping another video over time. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, all that good shit here. Thank you for tuning in to Chicago Bulls Central. Like I like to end every episode on. Go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace, y'all. Except Ricky. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you.